Welcome to Safe Yoga School, where safety meets authenticity. Troy Cox, guiding you on a journey to reconnect with your body, mind, and breath. Together, we'll explore yoga's deeper wisdom to build strength, balance, and a sense of sanctuary. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Let's begin this journey together.
Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Is it short and shallow up in the chest and shoulders? If so, are you able to lengthen the breath, drawing in a slow breath from the nose to the navel? And then extending the breath from the navel out through the nose. Nothing else to do. You set this aside at this time for yourself. So take a moment and thank yourself with some kind, loving words that resonate with you. Focus your mind on your body and yourself. Starting at your toes again. I love you, toes. I love you, feet. A lot of times we say things like, I don't like my feet. Consider that to somebody with only one foot or no feet, your feet are the most beautiful things in the world. I love you, legs. Thank you for carrying me around the planet. To everywhere I want to go, to everywhere I've been, and all the places I shall go. Thank you, legs. Thank you, hands, for all the doing. Thank you, arms, for the lifting and carrying and the hugging and holding and for the letting go. Thank you, hips, for supporting me and giving me a foundation. I release from my hips any emotional holding or tension or stress. Thank you, shoulders. Thank you, neck. And thank you, head. And thank you, heart. If it resonates with you, let's place our left hand above our heart and our right hand near the belly. You can put your thumb just below your belly button, if you'd like, or rest them where they feel comfortable. Then as you draw in your next breath, filling up the hand, then the heart. As you exhale, exhaling from the heart to the hand. Feel them rising and falling, breathing with your whole body. And if you have a personal mantra, prayer, poem, affirmation, or your own personal mission statement, silently repeat that to yourself now. And keep those words with you as we begin our posture practice. When it feels right to you, let's reach both arms overhead, giving ourselves a nice full body. Begin to feel your body this morning, directing your mind towards feeling your head, your neck. See if it wants to make any movements. Excuse me. Check in with your shoulders, elbows, and if it wants to move, allow it to move. And let's check in with our wrist, our fingers. How are they feeling this afternoon, morning? Both the hips, do they want to move a little side to side? When it feels right to you, let's reach both arms overhead, giving ourselves a nice full body stretch. On the exhale, hugging in the right knee, we'll do some nice little warm-up stretches. As you hug the knee in, does the toes or knee or ankle or hip want to move around? Maybe some hip circles. Maybe wake up your feet, getting ready to stand on them. Holding the back of the leg, give the knee a few kicks, waking up the hamstrings. Bringing the right knee towards the right underarm, just a little to the side, getting an inner thigh stretch. And we'll gently cross the knee over to the other side of our body, drawing your right knee to the left side for an easy twist, looking out towards the hand away from the knee. Feel free to rock a little back and forth. We're waking up, getting ready to do our postures. I'm just doing about 10 seconds to warm us up, but you can stay longer in any of these if you'd like. As you come back out to the middle, give yourself another full body stretch. And just a reminder, you can always say no to anything I suggest during class today. If you want to change, alter, or modify, please feel free to do so. On your next exhale, bring your left knee in, give it a nice squeeze. Checking in with your left leg, totally different than the right leg. What does it need? And the knee. And the hamstrings. Pulling the left knee to the left side, getting that inner thigh to open up, a little external hip rotation. And then transferring the knee across your body for the twist, looking out over your opposite shoulder and arm. Before coming back to the center. And maybe giving yourself a full body stretch again. And we'll hug both knees in, giving both knees that nice squeeze. Rocking a little left and right, massage that low back, side to side. Make our way over to one side, choose whatever side you'd like to be on, right or left, curling up into the fetal pose, giving yourself a big bear hug, and perhaps reminding yourself of your affirmation again, your own intention, or words that inspire you. Recognizing you're in a safe space, surrounded by friendly folk. Taking your time to come up to a seated pose, perhaps with the eyes closed. And if sitting cross-legged is uncomfortable for you, feel free to change it. And we'll begin with our pranayama, Ujjayi breathing. In Ujjayi breathing, we're trying to tighten the sinuses on the inhalation and tighten the back of the throat or the glottis in the exhalation. So let's all exhale together as friends. And on the inhale, a gentle snoring through the sinuses. On the exhale, a little heat in the back of the throat. Just practice, there's no right or wrong. Inhaling, gentle vibration, top of the nose. Exhaling, tightening the throat. On the inhale, create that vibration as loud as you'd like, stimulating the third eye. Tighten the back of the throat on that exhale. Releasing the technique. Notice the effects. We'll bring the hands together, either at the heart or the third eye. And say that same positive words or vibrational feeling and send it out towards the neighbors around you today, all our friends here in the room. Bringing the hands to the heart if that resonates with you. Take a moment to create a vibration or think of words that you think would serve our community in the world that we live in. And if it resonates with you, place the palms facing outward from you and send that vibration out to our community and the world. Feel that energy being returned to you. And taking your time, no hurries, we'll make our way up to a standing posture. Any way you'd like to get there. And we're practicing a Hatha class today, so we're going to be sitting with the postures a little longer and holding them and feeling them and trying to get into our muscle engagement and maybe seeing what the effect of the postures have on our body. So we'll start with our sun salutations, planting your feet about hip distance apart. We'll inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, extending up through the arms to the crown of the head. If your neck allows, looking up through the hands, find a gentle back bend. Deep breath in. On an exhale, push the walls wider as you come forward into a forward fold, rounding the back, looking back through the feet. Feel the backside of the body opening and stretching. Let's inhale to a half lift, pressing on the shins or the mat, finding a long extended spine. Exhale, rounding back, look back through the legs again. Inhale, circle sweep the arms to slowly rise to standing. Feeling victorious as you come up, strong and powerful. Namaste, hands return back to the heart. Option step the feet a little closer together. Closing the eyes, Samastihiti, attention pose. Bring your attention back inside with your breath. One breath for you. On your next inhalation, we'll open the eyes, raise the arms overhead, press through the feet, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Round the back, looking back through the legs. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, circling the arms to rise to standing, looking up through those palms. Exhale, hands back to Anjali Mudra at the heart. heart, stepping the feet closer if you would like. Take another deep breath just for you. Selfish practice, focus on self. And on the next inhale, one more half sun salutation. Inhale, raising Tadasana. Exhale, folding Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway Ardha. Exhaling, Uttanasana. Inhale. Take your time to rise to Tadasana. Mountain pose. And exhale, back to attention. Close the eyes, reminding yourself of your reason for being here today, your why for practicing. And then as you open the eyes, we'll get ready for a full sun salutation. If you're not at the front of the mat already, I'll meet you there near the front of your mat. We'll start with our feet hip distance apart, one of our own shoe sizes. Starting out with the hands at the heart. We'll inhale, back bend, mountain. Exhale, swan dive forward, fold, and feel free to move with your own breath. We don't have to match time or speed. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to a squat, placing your hands by your feet, bending the knees, sitting down. Inhale, step right foot back to a lunge, pause. Press through your back heel, extend through the crown of the head. Try to avoid rounding the back. On your next inhalation, plant the palm, slide your left foot back to come into plank, feet slightly separated. Optional knees down for our first yoga push-up. Bend the elbows backwards towards the back of the mat and stop halfway. Inhale, tuck the tailbone to come into a slight back bend for a safe cobra. Pressing through tops of the feet, extending through crown of the head. Exhale, press back through tabletop, tucking your toes. Revisit plank. From plank, exhale to down dog without moving your hands or feet closer together. Inhale, look in front of the hands, step your right foot back up. If you need to, use your hand to help you pull the foot up between the hands. Slowly inhale, front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, rounded back fold. Inhale, mountain. Taking your time to rise strong and tall. Exhale, namaste. We're going to dive right through the middle. Forward fold for our second sun salutation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to your squat. Inhale, looking back, left foot steps back. Look forward, take an extra breath here. Feel the power it takes in your legs to step the front leg back to meet the back. Second time through, optional, no knees down, chaturanga. Stop halfway and count 3, 2, 1. Then tuck the tailbone coming forward. Find low cobra again, or almost straighten the arms, pressing the tops of the feet down. Try to lift the knees for down dog. You can try the foot flip if you'd like, tucking both toes with an easy flip. Press back to down dog, lifting the hips high over your heels. Looking forward to the hands, step the left foot back up to your lunge. On the next inhale, step up front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, round that back fold. Inhale, circle sweep to a rise. And exhale, hands to heart. Close the eyes, take a moment, take a breath. You can step the feet closer if you like. And feel the effect of the sun salutation in your body. Relaxing the arms at your side, palms facing forward, separating the feet, preparing for warrior postures. We'll have some fun with our transition into warrior one. So we'll inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead, biceps just in front of the ears. Press into both feet. Focus straight ahead on one object in front of you. Pick up your left foot for a single leg mountain. Focus and breathe. Then when ready, step left foot back, landing on the ball of your left foot for a balancing warrior one. If available, keep your heel up off of the foot is pointed straight ahead, front knee stacked over the ankle. Rotate your little pinkies in, looking up gently between the hands. Big breath, focus, breathe. On the exhale, hands come through the heart. Place that back heel on the ground for grounding, bringing the hands to frame the front foot. Step the front foot back to plank. From plank option, no more chaturangas. Feel free to go to down dog if you'd like, or halfway stop, chaturanga. Inhale, slide through, cobra or up dog. You can always say no. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend both knees, look in front of the hands. Light hop or walk up towards the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, rounded back, fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Press all of your weight into your left foot. Pick up your right foot off of the mat. Focus and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Slide that foot all the way back, landing on the ball of the foot. Keeping up with our balance if available. Press through legs. Look up through hands. Maybe lift the corners of the mouth. On an exhale, hands come back through the heart, grounding through your back heel, releasing the hands to the mat, training the front foot. Step the front foot back to come into plank. If you're done with yoga push-ups, no problem. If you're going to do a push-up, keep your neck nice and straight as you go down. Then sliding forward and through, coming into our cobra or up dog. And we'll all meet together in a downward facing dog or child's pose. Bending the knees wide as you come down to your mat. Walk the arms out, relax on the mat. Take 3 deep breaths here, getting grounded, centered, and focused. One more breath for yourself. I love you, I love you, I love you. Just as you are, nothing needs to change. In this moment, I am content, santosha. In this moment, I am at peace, and through peace I feel strong. Before we get into Warrior 2, feel free to fidget or wiggle, as I like to call it. Move around anything that wants to move around. There's no right or wrong. And start to walk your hands back towards your knees, coming into Hero's Pose. Hero's Pose can be a little intense. So if sitting like this does not work for your body, feel free to tuck your toes and sit on the ball of your feet. If this pose feels okay for you, we could take it a little further, moving the calf muscles out of the way and sitting in between our feet. This can be very hard on the knees, so if this doesn't work, feel free to say no. No competition.
How do you do that again?
So move the feet to the side, and then slide your calf muscles out of the way, which will make it a little easier on the knees. And then you might walk your knees a little closer if available. Be careful of the knees. I always joke they call this Hero's Pose because it takes a hero to sit here very long. So let's close the eyes again and cultivate our breath awareness for 3 breaths. See what comes up for you. Can you be your own hero? We don't need an external hero to save us. third breath, we'll start to walk the hands forward, coming into tabletop. Inhale for a cow pose, lifting the head, lifting the tailbone, keeping the core engaged. Exhale to cat, rounding that back, lifting up through the center of your spine, chin to chest, tailbone tucked. And feel free to repeat. Before making our way to downward facing dog. We'll all meet as friends in downward facing dog whenever you arrive there. Send the hips high, sink the heels, fingers are spread wide, ears and biceps are near one another, space around the shoulders. Looks beautiful, everybody. On the next inhale, we'll bend the knees, look in front of the hands, and hop or walk towards the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana. We'll sit down in an awkward posture called chair. Feet are hips distance apart. Knees feel supported. They can go past the toes despite what we've heard, unless we're jumping or impacting. Biceps are near the ears, if available to you. Sit back a little further into a dinner chair and sit down a little lower and begin to feel the heat, the tapas building in the legs. So you begin to draw the heat up from the legs through the pelvis like a fire, along the spine, through the heart, the throat, and the crown of the head. Then on your next inhalation, we'll slowly press through the legs, reach up tall, shake out those legs if you'd like. Hands to hips for transition. And we're going to have some fun with our Warrior 2 transition. So we'll press into our right leg, pick up our left foot, then externally rotate the left leg to the side before starting to step it back in alignment with the front foot. Hips and shoulders open to the side of the mat, arms at shoulder height, looking out over that front hand. Keep your front knee right over your ankle if available. Fingers together to direct your energy in one direction. Nice postures, everybody. Now let's do something with Warrior 2 to get a little more intimate with the pose. We'll reach our hands down to the inner thighs. And imagine grabbing your thighs and spinning them backwards, being careful through the knees. So we're externally rotating both of the hips. Feel that opening through the pelvis. Then feel the grounding by engaging that root lock, pulling up through the bottom of the pelvis. Pull the navel in and slightly up into the ribs. Keeping the head aligned over the tailbone, now re-enter Warrior 2. Squeeze the quadriceps on both sets of legs to support the stretch in the back hamstring and the front hamstring. Keep that muscle lock engagement, gazing over the front hand. Breathe, focus like a laser on your front middle finger. Now, notice the contents of your mind. On your next inhalation, reach for your back leg reverse warrior, looking up at the front hand in the sky. Revolve your palm to see your palm and your fingerprints. Keeping that front knee aligned over the ankle, try to avoid letting the knee fall in. What's in your palm? What's reflecting back to you? Breathe and focus. One more breath. On the next exhale, extended side angle. If available, reach outside of your bottom leg, holding the shin, or reaching for a block or the floor if available. Then circle your back arm down towards the floor along the front of your body before bringing it overhead. This is a revolved side angle, so it's a parsvo. Start to twist a little and look up underneath that top underarm. Now feel the core engagement it takes to add that little twist. Squeeze through your legs. One more breath. Squeeze through the core. And remember, we're not torturing ourselves. We're feeling and experiencing. Then when ready, inhale, come back up through warrior two. Straightening your front leg. Turn both feet in the same direction. Wide-legged forward fold. Maybe walking the feet out a little wider. Inhale, reach up, star. Look up through the hands and feel a big expression. We are all stars. We come from the stars, and we shall return to the stars one day. Allow yourself that openness to merge with all that is. On your next exhale, bringing hands together overhead, namaste, through the third eye, bringing the hands slowly down through the throat, removing obstacles from the heart, in front of the solar plexus, bringing the hands down through the pelvis. Imagine pushing out anything that needs to be removed as you reach for the floor, coming into your wide-legged forward fold. From here, walk the hands forward of your mat, lifting up halfway on an inhalation. Send the weight back into the heels, toes almost come up off of the mat. On your next exhale, slowly fold. Fidget and wiggling time. What do you need? I always do neck stuff when I'm upside down, but just ask your body if you're unfamiliar with feeling. Hey body, where's an ache? And the body is always telling us where to move, where to fidget, where to wiggle, where to shake, but we've learned to ignore that little voice. That's why it makes aches. If we ignore an ache long enough, it'll turn into a pain. So don't be a pain in your own asana. Let yourself feel, breathe, and move for 2 more breaths, or stay still. Stillness is a very powerful tool. One more breath. Beautiful yogis. Preparing to exit, pressing through the little toes, let's slowly slide the hands to the hips. Wiggle the feet in a half foot closer to each other and turn your front foot to face towards the front of the mat. Keeping both legs straight, inhale, arms out, shoulder height, palms facing the side wall, preparing for triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale, reach forward over your front first to create some space in the front pocket. Then rotating the arms, stacking the arms in a straight line. Avoid letting the head fall forward by slightly tucking your bottom leg buttocks underneath you. We're looking for straight lines, like the pyramids in Egypt. Think about bringing your fingers together. That works for you. And then bring your head forward and back towards the knee slightly. And start to take your time to come back to warrior two. Now I'm going to make a big ask of you. We're going to try to step back up to a single leg balance. So we're changing planes of motion from a side plane of motion to a front plane of motion, which can be very challenging. So start to rotate your body forward, then pick up your back heel to a lunge. Focus straight ahead and begin to lift your back leg up, just like we started practice. And if you need to, take 2 or 3 steps to get up there, absolutely fine. Once you arrive at the mat, slowly bringing the hands to the heart. Inhale, Tadasana, separating your feet. Exhale, Uttanasana, sitting down in an awkward chair or lightning bolt. It's meant to look like if you drew a lightning bolt on a piece of paper with those nice straight lines, beautiful straight lines. Feel the power in this pose, cultivating your own energy. Preparing for Warrior 2 series on the other side. Press into that left leg, picking up the right leg. Focus, breathe, 3, 2, 1. Open the leg out, safety in mind. Adjust your feet as you land. Your back foot is slightly turned in. Find your deep breath. Beautiful spines, everybody. So healthy. One more breath. Feeling yourself in this shape. Inhaling on your next breath. Reverse that warrior. Slide down your back leg. Look up at the hand in the sky. Opening the front side ribs. Left leg forward, left ribs open, heart open. Keeping that front knee stacked right over the ankle if available. Release the grip on the mat with your toes. On your next exhale, extended side angle. If you need to, you can place that elbow above the knee for extra support, or try to reach to the outside of that bottom leg. Then bringing the top arm down, around, and overhead. If your shoulder gets stuck, as if you had a little impingement, then try the opposite direction of getting that arm overhead. Peekaboo underneath your top underarm. Feel your opposite side rib cage opening and celebrating and being happy. Third breath, we'll inhale, coming up star, turning towards the beautiful windows, that nice Florida sunshine, opening yourself up. You just got some really good news. You got a huge check in the mail. You got a promotion you want. You had some new self-understanding awareness. Celebration. Throw those arms up, joyful and happy if that feeling resonates with you. Bringing hands to Namaste, starting at crown chakra. Slowly bring the hands down through Sushumna, center channel of energy, into a forward fold. Take your time. As you come down, drop the head, looking back through the legs. This time we'll walk the hands through the legs to the back side of the mat. If your hips and knees say it's okay, turn the big toes in towards one another for a bigger hip opener. Then pull lightly on the back side of the mat, creating a tripod. Feeling your whole body releasing. Check in. Where might you still be restraining or holding back? Can you let go a little more? Are you going too far? Do you need to self-regulate? What's happening with you? On the next inhalation, we'll walk our hands back through to the front of the mat. Release the hands behind the low back, interlacing your fingers, creating temple grip. Lifting the hands off the low back, focus on bringing the hands above your heart rather than trying to force them overhead.
You looked beautiful in that pose. Go for it. Sorry, this is super fun for me. Thank you. Are you laughing at me, Neil? Oh, no? Okay.
Releasing your hands, fidget and wiggle time, yoga play time, move around, sway around. I love doing some lunges. Anytime you need to come out of a pose, come out of a pose. Shake, shimmy, move. Shake it off. slowly rise, arms overhead. Big V for victory. Warrior two towards the front of the room, but keep the front legs straight. Turning your palms to face the windows, setting up for triangle, reaching forward to handshake, then revolving your arms. If I stood in front of you, I should see your head and no tail bone. Looking for those straight lines. Externally rotate both your legs. Try to avoid letting the back hip roll inward. Beautiful. From triangle on that next breath, we'll inhale warrior two. From warrior two, we'll bring hands to hips, revolve your back foot forward to change the plane of motion, coming into the lunge. Reaching the arms back up, high lunge, step up back foot towards the front of the mat, balancing, just like we started. For 3, 2, 1. Coming down into resting mountain, palms at your side, close your eyes. Drop inside if you feel safe to close your eyes. 3 deep breaths, register your experience. And we'll prepare mentally for balancing on your next breath. We'll warm up for eagle with our twisted chair. So we'll walk the feet closer together, heels slightly separated. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, sitting down. Engage the inner thighs for strength and power. Namaste, hands through the heart. Without letting the hips revolve, revolve your upper body to your left. Finding your wrist or elbow outside of the knee. Looking down, check your right knee. Make sure that it is not going forward. If so, pull it back a little. Inhaling back through center to chair. Exhale, namaste, hands to the heart. Twist from the heart. Rotating to the other side. Feel your middle back rotating. And avoid craning the neck too far. The spine thinks it's helping by twisting the neck a lot. Inhaling back to chair in the center. Stay there unless you need to give the legs a break. Feel the heat you're building. Feel that kriya, the purification. Now your left leg has created a shelf. Keep that knee bent as you place the right knee on top, setting ourselves up for Garudasana, eagle. I love eagle at the wall. If you ever feel like you want to move over to the wall, feel free to do so. Arms out at shoulder height. We're still sitting down. That bottom knee is a shelf. So bend that bottom knee. Bring your right arm underneath, your left arm under. Bring the same side underneath as the knee on top. Your right arm goes on the bottom if your right leg is on top. From here, try lifting up your right foot off of the ground, your top leg foot. Point the toes back towards the back leg. Then slowly release, stepping it out wide. Pause and feel. We'll step it back in. And we'll sit down in our chair. Create that shelf on your right leg for the left leg to go on top. Left arm goes on the bottom. Wrap those forearms or hold your shoulders if unavailable. Sit back and down. Slowly lift your foot off the ground if you'd like. Feel free to modify anything that needs to be modified.
down at your side. Feel the flood of energy. Eagle pose is a great lesson about stress and relaxation, tension and relaxation. From here, we'll blink the eyes to open and meet in the middle for our tree vrikasana. Bringing the hands to the heart. I like to start out with my thumbs touching my breastbone for a grounding effect, so you feel connected to something solid. Focus that gaze straight ahead on something that isn't moving. Concentrate. Turning right foot out. Step the right foot against the left ankle to begin with. Take a deep breath. When you feel firmly rooted and grounded, reaching both arms up and wide. Slide your foot up to the curve of your calf muscle. Now, despite what we've heard, your foot can rest next to the knee, as long as it doesn't push the knee to the side. I actually like the feeling of the knee there. Or you can bring it above the knee if available to you. And it isn't about being still, it's about going with the flow. The trees that survive the hurricane are usually the palm trees. They're going to move and not be stiff and broken. One more breath, reaching up high for the sky. Namaste, hands to heart center. Without any thinking or criticizing, turn the opposite foot out. Slow motion tree, starting at the ankle. Once you feel grounded through your feet, reach up. Calf muscle, by the knee or above the knee. Safety in mind. Your tree roots are extending down through that standing foot. Lift up through the center of the foot, finding your foot lock. And then encourage some different movement than you've done every other time we've been in a tree. Try to find something totally different that makes you fall. That's a new neural pathway. Safety first. We go. When you're ready, folding up your tree. We'll take a moment here, resting mountain, recollecting yourself. Please know that you can opt out of anything. You can do your favorite posture as long as it doesn't distract your neighbor. If you want to go to child's pose and rest, you're welcome to do that as well. This is your safe zone. No right or wrong. No judgment. We're just loving each other, loving ourselves. We'll prepare for Nataraj Asana, dancing Shiva, or dancing warrior. As you open the eyes, we'll turn the right hand out, palm faces the side wall. Extend your left arm forward as a counterweight to the weight of your right leg. Shift the weight into the left leg, pressing firmly through the foot, lifting out of the left hip. Bend the right knee, placing the hand at the arch of your foot, and lock the knees together. Take a deep breath, and once you feel grounded, begin to push the foot into the hand, starting to slowly allow the foot pushing back to bring your upper body forward, not down. Breathe and focus. Try to bring the knees back together before releasing the pose. And we'll prepare for that other side. So reaching right arm forward, left hand out and back. Focus, breathe. Bend your left knee, placing that foot inside of your hand. Lock the knees together. Find your strong foundation. Then begin to press the foot back, reaching the front arm forward. The foot moving back will bring your upper body almost parallel to the ground. Then lift the front hand a little higher. You're flying through the air on the Mahabharata, the greatest warrior that ever lived. Nothing is going to stand in your way. When you're ready, releasing the pose. And taking your time to shake it off. Get rid of the nerves of balancing, a little somatic movement. Shake it all out. Shake, 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 rattle and roll. And then we'll finish our balancing with Bakasana. We'll inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Turning the feet out at 45 degrees. If you're at the very front of your mat, you might want to step back. Coming into a frog shape with the legs. Bringing elbows to knees, hands to heart. Here's my 3 tips for a flying crow. Walk your feet a little closer. My first tip is hands out in front, not underneath. Hands out in front. My second tip is to squeeze, activating inner thighs. Knees against elbows and arms. Then my third tip is lifting the hips up high rather than thinking about trying to rest on your arms. I'm here to help you. If you want help, let me know. You're looking slightly in front of your mat. Breathe. Core engagement, root engagement, belly engagement. And when you land lightly, find child's pose. Beautiful body. And after crow, I like rolling out my wrist and hands. From child's, we'll slide forward on our mat, coming to rest on our belly. Extending the feet as wide as the mat. You can place your arms near your hips for a safe low back, out at shoulder height for a little more challenge, or super non-gender specific person arms overhead. Then when you're ready, inhale, lift. Shalabhasana, locust pose. A locust is not a grasshopper. It has a hard time flying. It has a short, squat body and little wings, and it's flying overhead looking for food. So feel free to move a little if you'd like. That's probably a cicada, huh? Yeah. When you're ready, we'll come down. And we'll push ourselves up to tabletop pose. From tabletop, we'll walk the hands back towards the knees, coming into kneeling. You're welcome to have the toes tucked for camel. Untucked. If you feel unstable in camel, try the feet a little wider than your knees, if that's okay. We'll place the heel of the hand in our back pocket. Then lift up the low back. Classic, nice low back stretch. Dig the fingers into the buttocks and push the buttocks away to open up the low back. Walk the elbows towards each other and align the hips over the knees. Pressing down through the legs, inhale, lift up through the heart center, and slowly look back. If you're reaching for the heels, just a reminder, they're actually for pulling on, not resting on. So try to take off those shoes at the heels. Find that thoracic mobility. Neck is in neutral. Now stay there one breath longer than you want to, pressing the hips slightly forward over knees. And on your next inhalation, chin to chest, start to slowly come out. Counter that massive back bend with a nice cat. Looking straight ahead, we'll slide right knee up behind right wrist for pigeon. Place right foot in front of left knee in a comfortable, natural bend of the knee. So it does not have to be blocked to the front of the mat. Walk back with your back leg 2 big steps. And pigeon was intended to be king pigeon or queen pigeon, a back bend. So as you come up, there's no compression in that front hip flexor. Feel that open and expanding through your heart. Then if you'd like to, coming into your resting pigeon. This can also be done on your back. If your knee does not feel comfortable, let me know. Taking your time to exit pigeon, slowly coming up. If it feels safe on your front knee, engage your Muladhara Bandha, your root lock. Engage your abdominal lock. Open out your arms like pigeon wings. And then as you come down, tuck your back toes to lift up the back knee. Slide your front leg back, shake it off. And we'll move to the other side, placing the left knee behind left wrist. Right foot takes a hike back. Inhale, shoulders roll back, lift up, look up. On the exhale, if you want to rest, rest, or you're welcome to stay here in your king or queen pigeon. Your royal pigeon, Raja. Pigeons get a bad rap, but they're a wonderful bird. They mate for life, they coo. When you're ready, start to come back up. Walk that leg back up. Shake out your back leg. My dad does it better. And we'll inhale, reach the right arm up high. Exhale, thread the right arm through for thread the needle. Before you put the head down, try to reach all the way over to the bottom arm shoulder blade. If you turn your head slightly to the back of the head, you can look up at the top shoulder and get a bonus neck stretch. Take your time to exit, thread the needle, make a few circles before switching to the other side. Big inhale, spinal twist to the sky. Exhale, slide the bottom arm through. If I can facilitate or help you in any way, please let me know. Third breath. Take your time to exit the pose. Move that arm around. And then if you feel like doing anything before we wrap up, here on in table, go for it. Self-guided movements are the best. I always say the best yoga is laying on the floor at home and asking your body what it wants you to do. As you're ready, you can swing the legs around or cross the ankles behind you and sit back over your feet. Walking the hips back near the back of the mat. Dandasana, staff pose, press lightly on the mat. Find a little length in the lumbar, low back. As you release, if that got your wrist, roll them out as you inhale, toe rise. Exhale, reach past your feet. Then rounding down, forget about your feet. Feel the back of your body. East side body stretch. Stretch from your bottom of your foot, along the back of your legs, through the buttocks, along the spine, back of the skull. Everything's connected. One time I said there was a nerve that went from your front index finger all the way up to your neck. Not literally. Everything's not literally tied together, but they're all connected energetically. So feel that energy washing off your back like a turtle, washing over you. Just like water, energy knows where it needs to go. 26 vertebrae in the spine. Start with your tailbone. Begin to slowly roll up the 5 fused disc of the low back, coming along the 12 disc in the middle back, up to the 7 in the neck. Sitting tall, we'll slide ourselves forward on our mat. You're welcome to just lay down as we finish our practice, or you can move through Navasana boat. Lifting the ankles above the knees will take any pressure out of the low back. Slightly rounded your upper body, pulling in from the ribs to the waist. Inhale. Bring your legs with you as you exhale and slowly lower down. You're welcome to place your hands under your low back or come into shoulder stand if you'd like. Sarvangasana. Start to lift the hips. Place the hands on either side of the spine. Begin to walk your hands along the back, bringing the elbows closer together. Place your weight in your palms without bending the wrist. And on the next inhalation, straighten the legs above the hips. This is a half shoulder stand. If there's no pressure in your neck and it feels safe, place one hand down on the ground, a little wider than your mat, and perhaps the other hand. When you decide to come out, bend your knees first, bringing the knees near your forehead, and then starting to come down. Letting go and wrapping up your practice. If you feel that your body needs more, please honor your body. If you feel you've had enough for this morning, afternoon, then come into Shavasana. Feet separated, arms at your side, palms up. Shavasana can be more than just relaxing. If you would like, you can use it as a review. Go back through the practice you just experienced. And what are your takeaways? What did you learn? How did you grow? What can you use off the mat? Feel how you feel now in this moment, having done something wonderful for your health and well-being. It takes time and dedication to work on our health and wellness. So when you do, tell yourself, thank you, I love you. As you're ready, slowly waking yourself up, keeping the eyes closed perhaps, bending one knee, and rolling onto that side. Wrapping yourself up in a warm blanket of gratitude. Extend that gratitude to everyone around you. When it resonates with you, we'll come up to a seated pose. As friends, your eyes can stay closed. I like to honor the space that I practice in, so if it resonates with you, take a deep breath for Restorative Wellness Bureau at this beautiful location. Om Namo Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Namastasane Namastasane Namo Namah. I am one with all that is. I bow to my teachers, my gurus, those that show me the light. I honor you. I honor you. I honor you. Another salutation that goes well with Namaste is Jai Bhagwan, or victory, Jai, victory, Bhagwan, the divine, to the divine that resides within you. Jai Bhagwan, victory to your divine. Namaste.